Hi, I'm Miguel Delgado, board certified plastic surgeon, and today we're going to do a double incision mastectomy with a free nipple graft on a male with severe gynecomastia. In his particular case, it was due to steroid usage in his bodybuilding techniques, but it can also be used for men who have had massive weight loss or men that have severe gynecomastia with excessive skin. Today we're going to go over the preoperative period, the intraoperative approach that I take, showing the entire technique, as well as the postoperative period in weeks to come. Thank you very much. David, thank you for coming in.
Sure.
Very much. So you're here about your gynecomastia.
Yes.
Can you sort of give me your story, when you first noticed it, what you think contributed to it, and basically dealing with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a personal trainer, and I'm constantly working on perfecting my body, growing my muscles. And so I started to supplement my workouts with some steroid usage.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't notice any gyno, exhibiting itself for a long time. And
How long would you say?
I dabbled in it for a few years, and I didn't really notice that it was having any effect.
Were you taking any anti-estrogen things?
No, I really wasn't. I really was, I was very new to it. I didn't have a good mentor to show me what to do and when, and just kind of feeling my way through it. And so I made mistakes along the way. And it really wasn't until I had kind of weaned off of it and lost a little bit of weight, and it really manifested itself. I really started to notice it. And it became more and more pronounced. And I was really unhappy with it, the way it looked. So,
it's very common that some men can take steroids and have no effects. Others can take a little bit and it really affects them to a large extent. So, your story, is very typical. How did your chest change over that time frame of when you started noticing it?
Well, I've always had an easy time building my chest, my pectoral muscles. So in a way, it kind of hid what was going on. And only when I did lose some weight and lose some muscle did I realize what was happening. And all of a sudden, there was some, there's a lot of droopage there, and that wasn't there before because it was all firm, firm muscle. And then it just became even more and more pronounced.
So you did not have any enlargement as a young boy?
Correct.
Okay, so this is purely steroid induced.
Yes.
Any pain, discomfort, any psychological effects from the steroids?
It's more the feeling, the ostracized, feeling where you're, you don't want anyone to see your chest now.
Sure.
And as a professional athlete and trainer, that's the worst thing you could want to happen to you, because your body is your billboard. You sell yourself by the way you look. So I suddenly lost that. So your confidence goes when that happens. And I build my career on how confident I am and showing that I can help people because of the way I look myself.
Absolutely. Do you take off your shirt now in public, or do you?
Now I wear looser clothing, but normally I'd be wearing it, like Lycra and tight clothing at the gym. Not only because it moves better with the body, but it shows off the body better.
Sure.
You know.
So what would you say is your goal now in terms of surgery? What would you like to accomplish?
I'd love to be able to put a tight shirt on again at work and
Sure.
and have everything look like it's supposed to look.
Sure.
How it used to look.
Sure. Sure. Why didn't you do it earlier? Is there any reason why you waited?
You know, I wasn't quite sure if whether maybe I had put on some weight and that caused it to happen.
You didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I thought, well, maybe if I lose some weight, it'll go away, but that's not how it works. And so going up and down in weight didn't affect it; it stayed there.
Sure. Usually when you have true gynecomastia, is breast gland. So it doesn't fluctuate with weight gain or weight loss, but the fat around it can go up, can down. So once you really develop it, you really can't get rid of it unless you have a surgical procedure. And this is a very great technique, curative technique. You can accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now, it really depends on the degree of gynecomastia. There's various types, various severities of it. Some are extreme. I think you're more of the extreme type, in which you have to have a more aggressive technique done. And we'll kind of talk about that during the exam and sort of explain our technique, what we're going to do, and why we have to actually do it. Okay. The procedure is not a cancer procedure. So the procedure is to make you look good. It's not to go in and take out all the gland wherever it is. It's to make you look aesthetically pleasing. So you may still feel some of that in there.
Sure.
Okay. And sometimes if you still take steroids, as I think you're planning to, that tissue can still be stimulated. You'll never get to the point where you are now, but you can, have some activity still going on in there. So I just want you to know that there can be some reoccurrence, if you continue. Can you explain to me why you like to continue the steroids? What does it do for you overall?
Well, I'm in my 50s now, and it's much harder to maintain a big muscular build as you age.
Sure.
I have to work a lot harder than I used to. I injure myself easier. And this, doing the steroids does give that, that extra boost. Helps you maintain the muscle you already have. Helps you put on some of the muscle that you've lost for whatever reason.
Sure.
So that, so I'd like to maintain it just on a, on a more of a low key basis, just to keep what I have, basically.
Absolutely. Well, I think that you're going to do great. Thanks for sharing your story. I'd like to go on to our next step of really examining you and going through that process.
Okay.